Luigi Mangione might go free. Dude, it's just how much more negative stuff can you hear what's happening in this freaking country, bro? Luigi Mangione's attorney have filed multiple motions to dismiss the case, contending that key evidence, including statements and items seized during Mangione's arrest at Pennsylvania McDonald's, should be suppressed because the arresting officer did not have a warrant to search his backpack and did not read him his Miranda rights. If a judge agrees, the entire case could fall apart, and one of the most high-profile murder trials in recent memory could blow up over a mistake made by a female officer. This right here, Connor put up the defense filing screenshot. That's it. There's no body-worn camera footage from the from her in next 11 minutes. And if she was specifically looking for something, she found a handgun in the front compartment. And then what's the next one, Connor? Guys, you want to talk about this is where Bill Burr should probably love this. This is from February. A truck with images of Mangione as a freaking saint. I want to go around and ask you guys, what do you guys think about this, Rob?
This is all a psyop. The more that when you look at the GoFundMe account that went to Carmelo Anthony, the guy that's accused of stabbing Austin Metcalf in the heart, and then Austin Metcalf dying in his brother's arms. Then you look at Shiloh Hendricks, the woman who called the black child an N-word at a park. Now you're looking at the people surrounding Luigi Mangione and supporting him. I believe that it is a very small subset, subset
Yeah, you're right.
of mentally ill, deranged people who are being given these platforms or propagated, and it's part of a psyop. I don't know what the end result may be.
Maybe distraction from Epstein stuff, Rob. Maybe all this is to make you guys, hey, look, Mangione. Oh, look here. Yeah. Just to make you all look over here when the main shit is the main shit that they're covering up. I don't pay attention to this shit.
Think about the end result, though, because, I mean, Alex Jones has been saying for months, if not years, that they're going to, bomb a black college and blame it on Trump. So, I mean, I think they're intentionally stirring up racial tensions with this stuff. I think a lot of that money that's going to them could be from, NGOs or all the USAIDs that didn't get tapped into.
Exactly, but that's why, bro, all the protests, notice, all the protests and all the schools and all the Palestine, all the Israel, that's starting to brew. The racial shit's starting to brew because it's under Trump, and the billionaires are paying for it. Yeah, all those guys are paying for it.
And what's this going to do? So the people are going to say, oh, this kid is a hero. He killed a greedy CEO who was ripping off people from their health insurance, and he got away with it. So, there's going to be some idiots out there that go out and try to do it, and they're trying to create, a Joker situation, you know?
You know where that QR code leads?
Huh?
You know where the QR code leads?
To his GoFundMe?
It leads to a crypto, to a Luigi coin.
Oh, Luigi. It's probably gonna pop.
It leads to a Luigi coin on Solana. I'm not promoting it.
No,
you just did.
But what do you think? No, but I can't even see. I can't believe I've been reading from that far away.
I was shocked. All right.
What do you think, Alberto, about the situation?
Look, I mean, we have video.
Maybe don't type too loud because I can hear you.
When the video came out, I think I've never seen anything like it before. It was like a movie.
The shooting?
Yeah, the shooting was so clear. It's something you will see out of a movie. So it's blatant.
You didn't see his face in that video though.
Let's not get it. Yeah, but you saw a guy that fit the profile on the video.
It was him. He's not disputing that it wasn't him.
He's not disputing it. And it's been, all over the media. People talked about it. You have trucks going around. You have people defending him and everything. But at the same time, I will defend the justice system. If he wasn't read his Miranda rights and he was searched without a warrant, I think that needs to stick. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't like the guy. I think he cowardly killed a father that left his kids, alone. Doesn't matter what he did. Those kids don't deserve growing up without a father. Period. End of story.
Two questions. If someone, God forbid, shot your mother the way that he shot him, and you just found out that he's going to probably walk because that cop didn't do the Miranda rights or do the search warrant, what are you going to do?
I will be furious.
You ever see Law Abiding Citizen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
That type of thing.
I will be absolutely furious. But the thing is, I think what Jefferson said, that it's better to a free 10...
Let 10 guilty men go and one free man, then what is it? Yeah. It's better if 10 guilty men go free by accident than if one innocent man goes to jail by accident.
That's how we operate in the United States. Innocent to proven guilty, and that's how the law works. If you didn't have a warrant and it wasn't searched and it's inadmissible according to U.S. laws, it is what it is. It's unfair. It's stupid. Like, you know,
He's
it,
gonna-
Well,
that cop should be fired.
So
that
do you
cop
know
should be fired.
do you know the origins of the Miranda laws? So I went and I looked into it because I'm like, well, okay, is there a way for them to still prosecute this guy? So in 1966, a guy named Ernesto Miranda was accused of kidnapping and raping a woman. He confessed to police that he did this in a written statement. However, he was not given his Miranda rights prior to being arrested. So they actually were looking at throwing out the case against him. What they ended up doing was they found him guilty regardless of the Miranda rights, but it established that you had to read the Miranda rights to people when they're being arrested. So even though this guy's case was about to be thrown out because he wasn't, they still found a way to prosecute him. So regardless of Miranda, they may be able to work around that. But the illegal search of the backpack, if that is the only evidence that they have against Luigi Mangione, the only evidence, they don't have any credit card ties, because there's got to be a forensic trail.
Oh, 1,000
right?
more cameras.
Nobody, at this day and age, nobody's walking around paying for everything in cash. We're being tracked digitally everywhere we go. If the only thing that they have is the backpack, then we might be fucked. But if not, if there's other evidence, then yeah, okay, they didn't read his Miranda rights. They'll find a way around that, and they can find a way around the backpack. To your question to Humberto, if that's your family, if that's my family, I'm spending the rest of my life tracking down Luigi Mangione and exacting revenge for the death of my family.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's not going to be safe. You think that guy's going to be safe walking around?
But Vinny, like at no point, because the thing is once you break the illegal warrant, you know, the illegal search of property, that is a slippery slope, you know, and we had a lot of trouble in this country for illegal searches of property, you know, so there's limits, and I think the law is the law, and I think Rob is right, and I think he's being blown out of proportion. I think he's guilty, and I think he's gonna pay for it. But this is an argument. Like I think it's an important thing to consider, that how important it's for Miranda rights to be read and for law enforcement to have warrants, you know.
But here's my, because I kind of want to ask a question, but hear me out. If in cold blood you pull out a gun right now and you shot Brandon dead, and the cops show up and don't read you your rights, for you to be able to walk is completely horseshit. There's no, I don't give a fuck what right, what you're under arrest. No. We saw you. There's witnesses. You shot and killed the person. You're on camera. You're going to jail. The rights and the search warrant, that's all whatever the hell. That's get the cop in trouble. But if you shoot him in the chest, and we're all here, and just because the cop messed up reading the rights, that's horseshit.
Well, that's what Rob said, that, you know, if they're able to prosecute based off the other evidence, then great. However, if the only thing that would have convicted him beyond a reasonable doubt is the backpack situation, and then that is void due to not reading the Miranda rights, then
there's be an outrage.
But it is what it is. That's how it'll end up, though, because we need to. There's a reason why Miranda rights are in place. You know, they could weaponize that the wrong way. Like, it's fine for Luigi. We agree with that. But what if it was you, Vinny? And what if they planted some evidence or they did something crazy? They didn't read your rights. Wouldn't you want that thrown out, right?
100%.
And so we need to think about it from both perspectives. It's like, it can't be rules for thee and not for me.
And the problem is when it comes to video evidence now, I was watching a video the other day. You ever see those big balls that people climb into and then they roll around?
Yeah.
The
I was
giant.
going to do that in New Zealand.
So I watched
So
a
cool.
video and I'm watching it, and it's a bunch of guys in these big balls, and then they jump off a building. And I was like, how could they even do that? And then the next part of the video is the balls are bouncing down the street and they bump into giant Dunkin' Donut coffee cups that must have been 20 or 30 stories high. It was AI. But until they hit the actual coffee cups, I went, holy shit, is this real?
Yeah.
So we now live in this day and age where even what you see is not enough evidence because it could be created artificially.
Right.
Yes.
And I think it's a better system where like the burden is on the legal system to prove that you're guilty than the burden being on the person to prove that you're innocent. Because like almost every other country where it's the other way around, it's like much more hostile where the government can entrap you that easily.
The Tate brothers, it gets very nasty very fast.
Yeah, they weaponize the shit out of that. And I don't think it's like a crystal clear video where we like. I wouldn't put my life on it that he definitely did it. I think it's much more likely than 50%, but I definitely wouldn't say it's 100%.
What were there witnesses? Were people there?
I haven't heard of any witnesses.
Connor, what question were you going to ask?
I wanted to ask if any of you guys on the panel can recite your Miranda rights right now, so we know everything.
I think I have. Okay, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the state.
Now, is that from firsthand experience, or is that because I've watched Cops and I'm like, oh, that sounds just like every single thing that they do on Cops. But do you remember that from personal experience?
Yeah, personal experience.
Yeah, okay.
Good job, Vinny. 100 unusual points to you.
Thank you. All right, then. Well, listen, we're gonna see. I don't see. By the way, I don't see none of that shit happening.
Really
he's gonna live in a compound with a bunch of chicks if he gets out of jail.
Yeah.
A father is gone. I hope they get justice, and I hope they get the truth. That's the only thing I care about. Brandon says it might not be him, but whatever. They need justice, and those children, they need clarity.
Bryce and Dane Thompson were the sons of Brian Thompson. By all accounts, he was described as a loving father. He and his wife Paulette had recently separated at the time of his death, but according again to all reports, a loving father to these two kids who now their lives forever are ruined.
That's all that matters.
And guess what? There's footage of him, your dad. And that's never going to go away.
Never going to
go
away.
You're going to get to see your father assassinated in the middle of the street. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.